a thumbnail, but it just went straight to live. Here we are. What's the first thing on my mind, man? Why'd I even hit the button? Sometimes they don't even know. Oh yeah, it would be silly. Absolutely just not good form, not a good look. If I opened up with something about, some butthurt mofo left a comment, and it was because I think I offended his cult leader or something like that. So he decided to make a very broad statement, a very generalized statement about how, what was it? Hold on, I know it's dark. That won't last. Because I said, let there be light. By goodness gracious. Oh, I'm supposed to meet Crystal Phoenix Rising, my old girlfriend from, my God, 1996 through 98, and then sometimes in high school. So anyway, the butthurt commenter who said, hey man, this channel is a joke, bro. I want to just say, cool. I agree. I endorse this to be as much of a joke as possible, because I will not deny the fact that I have entirely, at this juncture, given up on being so damn serious about YouTubing, because I'll tell you, that can work for you 100% if you really make it like a prioritized goal and you want to make, build something with it. But this for me is a vlog / here's stuff I'm interested in channel, and if anybody out there thinks I'm just gonna leave this comment that's trying to tear this man down, it's not gonna work in that way. I have too much of a good time ranting, and I need the catharsis. I need the ability to spit whatever I'm gonna spit. And as of late, though, right now I'm trying to zoom it in, right? I'm pulling what I call a Trump, all right? I'm bobbing, I'm weaving, I'm not quite sure what I'd like to talk about, so I'm thinking, I got a little update. I don't know if any of you have been following the 500-pound land animal. She has a name, she's a SoundCloud rapper or something to that degree. She's the one that's trying to sue Lyft, right, for probably millions of dollars for discrimination. Her lawyer brilliantly stated that that's no different than denying somebody because of their race. That's no different than saying you're black, you can't come into the Lyft. Holy crap, you moron! Now apparently there's specific laws in, I don't know where this was, Michigan, where it protects obesity almost in the same way it does things like race. There's only a huge difference where you're born with one, the other you have to get there and sustained. You have to sustain 500 pounds. That's like 8,000 calories a day, by God. So, if you check this beast of a woman, if you want to call her that, out on the Breakfast Club, she destroys all of her defense attorney's hard work in mere moments when she sits in the normal guest chair to do the interview and go, oh, woe is me, oppression. Shocker, she's been doing this for quite some time for, I don't know, clout, or maybe just the money, I guess. In this case, I'd say the money. And playing victim, super, that's the bee's knees these days. But in the first few seconds, she sat in the chair and said, y'all have something bigger? They had to drag a sofa into the frickin' studio and have her sit in it. That completely destroys the argument the attorney had made, which was stating how she would have easily fit in that poor man's car. That you could tell if she had gotten into it, the bumper would be dragging all the way to the destination. And that landmass, if you've ever seen Akira, when Tetsuo is like, just kind of exploding, like he's imploding and then exploding, that's what would have happened. It would be nothing but her flesh squeezing out of each window, the back, the front, and even somehow out of the muffler. Don't ask me how. What else is there that I was thinking of? Oh, what's been going on with the Trump's, not Trump, but Elon Musk's kid, and why are people so fixated on what his kid said to Trump? What's not? He said, shut up, you're not the president. Who cares what a says, and what are you going to do with that? Like, if of a conspiracy theory, what the hell do you care? Another one. how gullible people are. This is alarming. This is why I am terrified of AI. Not because of the potential of all the terrible things it can and will do, but how stupid people are. There was something that was trending on TikTok, of course, TikTok, which was a very, very beautifully made AI of like some sort of spaceship that looked like a beehive. And it became a whole trending hashtag thing on TikTok saying what happened on this day in Texas. I don't know if you've seen the video, but it's on. Oh, I'm breaking up. I have a bad connection, and damn man, I apologize for that. It does happen sometimes. I use this channel, and I use my actual, studio, if I can call it that. It's a nice, comfy chair that I can fit in because I'm not 500 pounds and trying to sue the person that made the chair. And if it's still cutting up so bad, just let me know, and I'll just I'll kibosh this right here. But if you haven't seen this, go ahead and look up Beehive UFO on TikTok, and I think it puts a date like what happened in Texas February 25th, and you just see it's clearly, I mean, it's done very well. So your layman will look at this. The majority of the people in the comments are all praying to God, saying that we need our Messiah now. It's end times. This is what gets me with super religious people. I'm not going to say spiritual people that love their God. That's not my gripe, but it is those that worship, like the end times, like, oh, it's here, the rapture, and they almost want to freaking jizz because they're like, you see, I told you so, even though it's at the cost of, like, everybody they've ever known and themselves all possibly being unalived in one fell swoop. They just want to have that I told you so moment. That's the level of the Bible and stuff of that sort that I just am not a big fan of. The ones that, like, for years, for decades, for centuries, we've had the morons that say this, it's going to be the end times. It's going to be the end times. My favorite story is this one preacher who took his entire flock up to a really tall mountain, made his whole congregation go up the damn mountain. It took 3 days, 3 nights, and like, okay, he's like, we're here. Let's all just wait it out. Let's wait. They waited 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. I think they waited about 12 days before they finally started turning on him and left. They left. So I think that's a good example to remember when you're so eager to, and you see anybody that's like celebrating, end times is near and now. Hey, thanks. Yeah. So with this, I find myself explaining it very often. I am Jewish, emphasis on the ish, because I'm not of the blood. My mother is not Jewish. I was baptized Catholic. I became a Christian at some point, but my father, and my father's side, primarily Jewish. So, man, I've had a journey of spirituality and studying it and reading all the different doctrines that I can find. I'd love to have debates with anybody regarding their confidence in their faith. I have found a strong difference in faith and hope personally, and I have open panels from the studio, not the bad connection cell phone that I'm using far too much. But man, since I don't nail just on one thing, I'm Messianic Jew. Is that what it is? Yeah, no, some of us are not. I can't blame anybody that is not someone that's appreciating how the world is. If anything, that makes the most sense, to be a pessimist. I find that being a pessimist is often safer, as pessimistic as it sounds, because you're not setting yourself up for failure. If you wear too much hope and throw too much optimism out there, you're destined and doomed to stumble on some failure, and it's going to suck and take the life out of you. So you got to have a level after you live on this planet long enough, and I'm older than I look. If anybody gets my age right, you're going to go and cheat and check my birth date, I'm sure. I'll zell you like $100. But don't bother, because I'm going to assume you cheated. I am older than I look, and that I promise. So yeah, I have some pessimism in general because, well, for one, no hope in the government. Although, despite the hardships we're going through with Trump because of the imposed tariffs, I understand his end game. He told us what he was going to do. It sucks to watch what we all knew was coming, which is funny to see people cry about it once they voted for it. We knew he was going to do a mass deportation thing. I have friends, maybe even some family, that they're not allowed to stay. My last live, I went live with somebody who has 6 months to stay in this country and get out after that. I don't think she's going to be able to find something that she needs. Like, she thought she was going to be a naturalized citizen. She thought because she stayed here, I don't want to say illegally, but I mean, let's call a spade a spade. She stayed here for 10 years, never got in trouble, so I'll give her that. Points to never getting in trouble. Paid taxes, apparently, by working all these jobs. And she works with me now, although she's getting paid under the table. So about those taxes, I didn't call her out there. But she's got 6 months, her and her kid brother. And it's going back to Haiti, not the Bahamas. Her parents are in the Bahamas. But no, she wants to claim for asylum. Nice try with the 47. My God, it frightens me a little bit. Good try, good shot. I'm actually 4-0, which I need to really learn to come to terms with my age, or I'm not gonna survive. Let's see. I watch Locale Live sometimes, but I'm always like 50-50 on ranting on it. I have like a personal beef with Wings of Redemption, and I want to like confront them in some way. Aside from Locale Live, let's see. I have a history with Ryan Upchurch that I'm tired of talking about. He shouted me out, and that's why I even got the platform I do, even though I've been around since like early 2000s. Once he shouted me out, that's when, for like a couple months there, 4 months, it's getting thousands of viewers just watching me rant. And then he went and said some dumb crap like, hey, this teenager named Kelly Rodney that was unalived accidentally in a terrible accident, she's not real, and her family is trying to scam GoFundMe. And then I said I can't vibe with any of that or any of you. And then the trolls came for me. So, yeah, there's a little history for why this channel is where it is. There's so many things that I want to do, but I won't deny my procrastination. There's always bouts of depression here and there, can't deny that. And I work a lot. Like, I'm almost hitting about the 60-hour mark. Aside from that, feel free to engage. Drop a comment, say anything stupid, wild. I don't care if it's derogatory or not. Just a little engagement goes a long way. Thumbs up, thumbs down, I don't know, I don't care. Just say what you mean what you say, and anything I've touched on, please feel free so I can elaborate more. I have sent clips. My typical format is having the clips. I play it using StreamYard, Streamlabs. I do not know OBS well enough, and I do the whole kind of channel reaction live and feed off the audience thing. Sometimes I have collaborations and ex-co-hosts or co-hosts from the old channel I was on. But that aside, I'm going to close it. I'm done. Good night, everybody. I hope we wake up to a better world tomorrow. That's too optimistic, though. So let's just